Her name was Carol, 68 years old, retired school principal from Columbus, Ohio. She had been planning this trip for 3 years. Not exaggerating. 3 years. She had a binder, printed itineraries, color-coded tabs for each port, a spreadsheet tracking every excursion, every dinner reservation, every shore excursion deposit. She drove 11 hours from Columbus to Fort Lauderdale, stayed at a hotel the night before, woke up at 5:30 a.m. She was at the cruise terminal by 7:15. The ship was right there. She could see it through the glass doors, and a cruise line agent politely, professionally told her she could not board. Not because she was sick, not because her passport expired, not because of anything she had done wrong, because of a document she had never heard of. A document the cruise line never mentioned when she booked, never mentioned in her confirmation email, never mentioned in any of the 17 promotional emails they sent her in the months before sailing. "I'm sorry, ma'am. Without a compliant physician's fitness to travel letter, we can not let you through." Carol lost $6,200 that morning, and not $1 of it was recoverable. Stay with me because by the end of this video, you will know exactly what this document is, why your doctor will almost certainly write it wrong, and the one phone call you need to make the moment you finish watching. This is information that cruise lines are counting on you not knowing. Here's the question nobody is asking. Why now? Cruise lines have been operating for decades. Seniors have been their most loyal passengers for decades. So why, starting in 2024, are Holland America, Princess, MSC, Viking, and Silversea quietly introducing medical documentation requirements that are catching passengers at the dock? The answer is money. The number of Americans over 65 taking cruises has increased 34% in 3 years. More older passengers means more medical emergencies at sea. And a medical emergency at sea is catastrophic for a cruise line's balance sheet. A helicopter evacuation from international waters, $20,000 to $70,000. Onboard emergency treatment billed at private hospital rates. Legal liability, regulatory exposure. So the cruise lines made a quiet business decision. They would add medical documentation requirements for passengers over 70, and they would enforce them strictly at embarkation when it is too late for you to do anything about it. They are not breaking any rules. They are following them, rules they never highlighted. And here is where the trap gets dangerous because it is not one trap, it is four. Trap 1. The requirement is hidden where almost no one looks. That requirement lives in a passenger health policy document, a document that requires you to navigate 3 separate pages of the cruise line's website to locate, a document that 91% of passengers never fully read. The first time most seniors discover this requirement is when they receive a pre-cruise checklist email, 3 to 5 days before sailing, by which point their doctor's office has a 2 to 3 week lead time for paperwork. The window has already closed, but even the passengers who find the requirement in time hit the second trap. And this one is worse. Trap 2. Your doctor will write the wrong letter. This is the trap inside the trap. When you call your doctor's office and say, "I need a fitness to travel letter for my cruise," they know exactly what to write. It will say you are in good health and you are cleared for travel. That letter will be rejected. Each cruise line has specific language requirements. Holland America requires documentation of your current diagnoses, a full medication list, written confirmation that your conditions are, and I am reading this directly, stable and controlled and not expected to deteriorate during the voyage, and a physician's statement that you do not require a level of medical care exceeding what is available in the ship's onboard medical centers. Carol's doctor wrote a beautiful letter, professional letterhead, full medical summary, signed and dated. 4 words were missing, 4 specific words the cruise line required. Carol didn't know. Her doctor didn't know. The booking agent who sold her the cruise didn't know. And I'll tell you exactly what those 4 words are. But first, you need to understand why Trap 3 may already be working against you right now without you realizing it. Trap 3. The 30-day window is a countdown most people miss. Most cruise lines requiring a physician's fitness letter specify it must be dated within 30 to 60 days of your sailing date. Think about what this means in practice. You book your cruise in January. Your annual physical is in February. You ask your doctor to write the letter while you're there. Smart, proactive. That letter will be 6 months old before you reach the doc. Expired. You cannot get the letter the day you cannot get it at your annual physical unless that physical falls within the 30-day window. You must schedule a separate, specific, paid medical appointment for the sole purpose of obtaining this letter, timed precisely 35 to 45 days before sailing to meet the window while leaving the buffer for corrections. That appointment is not covered by Medicare Part B if it has no diagnostic purpose. Out of pocket. And if your medication has changed in the last 60 to 90 days, which brings us to Trap 4, the letter from your primary care doctor may not even be enough. Trap 4. Your travel insurance will not save you. The moment passengers are denied boarding, they call their travel insurance company. The answer is always the same. Travel insurance covers medical cancellations, covered disasters, documented emergencies. It does not cover denial of boarding due to failure to provide required documentation. That is classified as a traveler error. The $4,200 cruise fare, the $890 in flights, the hotel the night before, the prepaid shore excursions, every dollar, gone, not recoverable. And here is the kicker: cancel for any reason coverage. The one policy that could have protected Carol only applies if you purchased it within 10 to 14 days of your initial booking deposit. Carol bought her standard policy 3 months in. She didn't know the window existed. 4 traps. Each one is invisible until it closes around you. Now let me show you how they all closed around 2 real passengers on the same sailing date, and what the difference was between the one who boarded and the one who didn't. Same cruise line, same ship, same sailing date, same embarkation port in Seattle. 2 couples, both over 70, both first-time passengers on this particular cruise line. Couple 1, the Arizona couple, retired contractors from Scottsdale. They had cruised 4 times before, always on Carnival, where documentation requirements are minimal. This was their first Holland America sailing, a 12-day Alaska itinerary they had been planning for 18 months. They received the pre-cruise health checklist 5 days before sailing. They called their doctor the same afternoon. The doctor's office said they could send something by the end of the week. The letter arrived via email 2 days before departure. They printed it at the hotel the night before the cruise. At the embarkation desk, the Holland America medical coordinator reviewed the letters and stopped. The letters confirmed both passengers were in good health and cleared for travel. What they did not confirm, in writing using the cruise line's required language, was that neither passenger required continuous medical oversight exceeding onboard medical center capabilities. That phrase, that specific phrase, missing. They spent 4 hours at the port trying to reach their doctor for a corrected letter by email. Their doctor was in back-to-back appointments. The ship's boarding cutoff passed at 3 p.m. They did not sail. Their travel insurance denied the claim, passenger error. Total loss, $7,400. Couple 2 different outcome. Same city, same ship, a couple from Tucson, same age range, different preparation. 6 weeks before sailing, the husband called Holland America's medical services line directly, not customer service, not the booking agent, the medical services department. He asked for the exact documentation requirements in writing by email. He received a 2-page document with the precise language required. He emailed that document directly to his doctor's office and scheduled an appointment 40 days before sailing. The letter came back compliant on the first submission. They boarded in 12 minutes. They had a 12-day Alaska cruise, same trap, 2 completely different outcomes based on 1 phone call. I'll give you that phone call number and the exact email language in the checklist at the end of this video. But there's something else that happened to the Arizona couple, something that happened in the weeks after they were denied, that you need to hear. The financial loss is documented. The emotional cost is not. The Arizona couple spent 3 weeks making calls. The cruise line's resolution team told them the policy was clear and the denial was valid. Their travel insurance claim was denied twice. Their credit card travel protection covered $400 of a $7,400 loss. They posted about it in a Facebook travel group for seniors. Within 48 hours, 67 people responded. 67 people who had experienced the same denial. Most of them had no idea the documentation requirement existed until they were standing at the dock. That Facebook post is where I found Carol. She commented 4 words. Why didn't anyone warn us? That is why this video exists. Consider yourself warned. Alright, here's exactly what to do, starting today. Step 1, the day you book, find the health declaration page. Not when the reminder arrives, the day you book. Log into the cruise line's website. Search, cruise line name, passenger health policy over 70. Download the documentation requirements as a PDF. Print it. This is your compliance document. Step 2, call the cruise line's medical services department directly. Not customer service, not your booking agent, the medical department. Ask them to email you the exact physician letter requirements for passengers over 70, including any specific language clauses. Get it in writing. This is the phone call that saves your trip. Step 3, send that document directly to your doctor's office. Not a phone summary, the actual document. Ask your doctor to draft the letter using the cruise line's exact required language. Schedule this appointment 35 to 45 days before sailing, close enough for the 30-day compliance window, far enough to allow corrections if the first letter is rejected. And if your medication has changed in the last 90 days, call the cruise line medical department again. Ask specifically whether a medication change within that window triggers a specialist clearance requirement. Get the answer by email. Step 4, purchase cancel for any reason coverage within 14 days of your first deposit. Not when you finish booking, not when you pay in full. Within 10 to 14 days of your first payment, that is the only window where cancel for any reason coverage is available, at approximately 50 to 75 cents on the dollar on your total trip cost. It is the only financial protection that covers a scenario like Carol's. The cruise lines will not change their documentation requirements. They will not make them more visible. The fine print will remain fine, but you are no longer reading the fine print. You are reading this. The travelers who board that are not the ones who got lucky. They are the ones who made one phone call nobody told them to make. Now you know how to make it. If you want to know more about travel insurance traps targeting seniors, I'll drop the link in the description box below. Don't forget to check out. Thank you for watching and subscribe to Deep Route if you want this kind of research before your next trip.